Here in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, live an elite group of men, a select few upon whom a very great honor has been bestowed. On their shoulders rests the weighty responsibility of ensuring that a centuries-old tradition is continued, a tradition culminating on February 2nd with the only 100% accurate weather forecasting system known to humanity. This weather forecasting system is known locally as Punxsutawney Phil.
Punxsutawney Phil is known as the seer of seers, the prognosticator of prognosticators, the premier weather forecasting entity in the world.
Phil is a groundhog, a common rodent found in the northeastern United States, and these men have dedicated their lives to looking after him. Once a year on Groundhog-Day, Phil will forecast the weather for the 6 remaining weeks until spring. Though this field is empty now, on the night before Groundhog Day, it will be packed with over 30,000 people.
You just have to imagine this whole area right here. I mean, it is so packed in full of people. If you literally dropped a $100 bill on the ground, you would not be able to pick it up because there's just that many people here that we are so tightly compact out there within the crowd.
Every single person will be waiting anxiously for the proclamation of this marmot meteorologist.
That morning, what takes place is Phil mysteriously makes his way to Gobblers Knob and is inside this large maple stump.
Phil communicates his prediction in a language known as Groundhog-ese, a language that only the man lucky enough to be chosen as president of the Groundhog Club can understand.
Groundhog-ese is not what I expected, so I'm sure it's not what you expected. It's kind of like learning how to interpret dolphins and whales. It's a foreign language. It's a language all of its own. It's not one that carries on lengthy debates or conversations, but it does certainly get across his intention as to what the season brings.
Although there are some doubts about his methods, Phil's predictions are taken very seriously.
Phil's prognostication has gone on uninterrupted for 113 years. However, for a couple of years during World War II, we were asked not to make public his predictions so as not to give any advance information to our enemies.
When you visit Punxsutawney, don't expect to find Phil in his official residence here on Gobblers Knob. His digs may be stately compared to some groundhogs' homes, but for the king of rodents, they just wouldn't do.
Many people think that Phil lives in a hole in the ground, but because of his royal status in the animal kingdom, it would be a totally inappropriate place for him to live.
When it isn't Groundhog Day, Phil resides here in the Punxsutawney Public Library. Protected from the elements behind these walls, he can watch the world go by and study weather patterns, constantly updating his prediction.
We want people to be familiar with him. We want to try to educate people. And what better combination than Phil, fun, and books?
Phil is without a shadow of a doubt Punxsutawney's most important resident, but his position as premier wasn't always so assured.
You take back in 1887, what was there to do? I think people were suffering from cabin fever and were looking for some sort of excitement or something to do just to celebrate with mankind. And they just took advantage of it. They went out and literally dug up a groundhog. And at that time, not as of today, we celebrate him. Then they would dig up the groundhog and eat him.
Thankfully, all this is ancient history. And now the only person who gets to gnaw on Phil is Phil. Now his guardians go to special lengths to prolong his life.
Every year at our summer picnic, we give Phil a little shot of punch. And for every gulp of punch he gets 7 more years of longevity.
As long as Groundhog Day continues, there will always be controversy about its scientific validity. But to the members of the Groundhog Society in Punxsutawney, such quibbles are irrelevant.
We believe that it is supposed to be a little bit silly. It's here to have fun with, and without question, if you question the science, you've missed the point.
I'll guarantee you, the people that stay home under the covers on February 2nd don't remember that day a year later. The people that get up and stand out in the middle of the woods, they'll remember that day for the rest of their life.
Meanwhile, as long as Punxsutawney Phil can keep up his 100% accurate forecasts, for this lucky rodent, every day is Groundhog Day. Would you believe it?